Now I request our honorary president and the director of Center for Cellular and Molecular Biology, Dr. Mohan Rao Garu, to briefly address us. Now I request Professor Ramchandra to introduce the chief guest briefly.
Respected dignitaries on the dais, and most importantly the VIP of this function, Professor Venkatraman Ramakrishnan, and other members on the dais, and intellectuals and students and JVV cadre and media of the audience. Very good evening to all of you. So in Telugu there is one sameta, there is one proverb, one saying, Jagamerina Brahmanaki Janjamela. See, when a noble laureate is there on the dais, introducing him is only redundancy, because anybody who is educated would have been already in touch with the current affairs. Definitely they will be knowing what is going on in the science and technology arena. But at the same time, only for the sake of showing some inspiration for the youngsters here, it is my humble responsibility to provide a brief portrayal of Professor Venkatraman Ramakrishnan. Generally, when I was searching for his brief biodata, I went to the Wikipedia. Then I, out of curiosity, I pressed the search tab, Venki. Fortunately, mostly Venkatraman Ramakrishnan names only have come as Venki Ramakrishnan, and a few Ravi Tejas Venki also have come. So it shows that our scientist really catches lot of imagination all over the world. He is more popular, and I am not going to give the scientific picture of Professor Venki Ramakrishnan, because those details are going to be very, very lengthy. I am going to provide only the corona of the illustrious scientific career of Professor Ramakrishnan, only the biodata aspect of it, so that the young students here will be taking some fillip out of it, and they will be able to take him as a role model. Generally, whenever we write or read about great people, we try to understand where they are born. Why we are honoring Professor Ramakrishnan? Because he is an Indian-born scientist. The year 1930, 1968, 1983 and 2009, these 4 years are very, very important years in the scientific picture of India. We can say that these 4 years are very, very proud-worthy years, because in the year 1930, Professor C.V. Raman has got the Nobel Prize in Physics. In 1968, Hargobind Khorana has got Nobel Prize for Physiology and Medicine. And in 1983, Professor Subramanian Chandrasekharan has got Nobel Prize for Physics. And in 2009, Professor Venki Ramakrishnan has got Nobel Prize in Chemistry. So that way, all the 3 areas of science that are given a Nobel Prize have been fulfilled from Indian physics side. At least after independence also, the 4 areas have been covered: physics, chemistry, as well as biology. Professor Venki Ramakrishnan was born in 1952. You can see he does not look to have been of 61 years anyway. When he was alighting from the car and when he was coming to the hall, he was carrying a bag on his back, and it was reminding us as if he is still like a school student. He was born to Sri Ramakrishnan and also Rajalakshmi in the year 1952 in Chidambaram in Kadalur in Tamil Nadu. Then he studied up to BSc in C.R.J. Rao University, Baroda. Both the parents were teachers, scientists actually in the same university. That's why he must have been showing a lot of interest towards science that day itself. Then he wrote the National Science Talent Scholarship, and he got it very, very illustriously. Then with the aid of that, he completed his BS degree in physics in the year 1971. Basically, he is a BSc graduate. He tried to get a postgraduate degree in several IITs by writing a JEE. Perhaps JEE must have been at that time, but he could secure a seat since he was a CBSE pattern student, both IITs as well as Christian Medical College tried, but in the professional colleges he couldn't get a seat. And he got a seat in IIT as a BTech graduate and also as a doctoral medicine student in MBBS, who would have got a great scientist like him. Friends, then he went to US for obtaining his post-graduation as well as the doctoral degree, and he got his PhD degree from Ohio University in the year 1976. Then he started showing interest towards ribosomal physiology, ribosomal mechanism, etc. after he got a stint of 2 years training in California. Then from 1983 to 1995, for about 12 years, he was in Brookhaven National Laboratory, and in 1995 he moved to University of Utah as a professor of biochemistry, and in 1999 he moved to the present place where he is working, that is the Medical Research Council Laboratory of Molecular Biology in Cambridge, England. There he started working the molecular structure of the 30S subunit of ribosome. As maybe for the sake of the audience here, I will take 1 minute only to tell about the function of ribosome. All of us are having lot of muscles and all. You know that the muscles are made up of proteins. Proteins are actually synthesized by stitching amino acids bead by bead. Like we collect the beads to make a the chain. Same way, the amino acid pieces, the mono amino acids, are connected together by the ribosome. So you can just strike an analogy between this ribosomal activity to a stitching machine. In the stitching machine, you know that the thread in the thread that is rolling there, and also the thread from the bob will be connected together by one rotor there at the bottom. When the tailor is pressing the handle up and down, you know that is the one which connects these two things. That way, the ribosome is going to make some kind of blending between several amino acids, and it serves that. That's why we are able to get all our functional proteins, etc. So that's how he has done, and lot of interior structure he has determined. Not only the structure of the ribosomal aspects he has found out, and the functionality also is determined. Once he has determined the functionality, then we will be able to manipulate the ribosomal structure. And for the ribosomal structure definition, we have used neutron diffraction, with which only you can find out the position of hydrogens. With simple X-ray diffractometry, you can find out the position of hydrogens. That's why, but hydrogen positions of protons matter a lot. So finally, with that great work, he has got Nobel Prize in chemistry in the year 2009, and he has shared that Nobel Prize with Thomas Stich and also Ada Jonas. That's why we are actually he has been also knighted, and we should actually call him as Sir Venkatraman Ramakrishnan, but he humbly declines to be called as Sir. But anyway, we are very happy to see Professor Venkatraman Ramakrishnan here, or smartly, or very affectionately call him as Venki Ramakrishnan. Now, I am very delighted to be given this opportunity. I am honored by this opportunity of introducing briefly about this great Nobel laureate Venki Ramakrishnan. Thank you very much.